we touched on it earlier on, and that is unconditional stay. You will find, apart from the capital investment entrance scheme scenario, that there will be instances where a long-stay foreign national resident is in a position to make an application for the right of abode, but they genuinely cannot put their hand on their heart and say that they've taken Hong Kong as their only place of permanent residence. And in that instance, because one of the application forms, the ROP 146, calls for that declaration, if you can't make that declaration, you can't get the right of abode. But what you can do, instead of getting the right of abode, is make an application for unconditional stay. And essentially, it's exactly the same test for approval, 7 years continuous ordinary residence in Hong Kong. And if you can satisfy that test, but you can't make the declaration, then you can have your status adjusted to unconditional stay. And as I said earlier, unconditional stay just relieves you of all the limits to your existing residence in Hong Kong. So there's no imposition of limit of stay, and there's no imposition of preclusions to what you can do whilst you hold unconditional stay. So this is a really useful immigration status. It used to be prior to a case that was settled in the end of the 90s. Prem Singh, I think it was 99. It used to be that right of abode was a two-step process. The first thing you had to do was to remove conditions to your stay, which meant the unconditional stay application first, and then you went on to make an application for the right of abode. The Immigration Department treated it as a single exercise, but then the Supreme Court said this is not constitutional, because you're actually allowing the Director of Immigration the ability to roadblock somebody's potential to go on to get the right of abode. So now there's no requirement to get unconditional stay first. You can go directly to the right of abode. The tests for approval are exactly the same. Okay, so as I say, unconditional stay is effectively an administrative convenience. It's not the same as the right of abode. You're just giving the Immigration Department a get-out because they don't have to consider you every so often and have to use their resources to maintain your status here. And the way that you get it is, as I said, 7 years continuous ordinary residence. You have to hold a qualifying visa, and you need to argue away any missing periods of residence. Your absences from Hong Kong need to have been of a merely temporary nature. And as I say, unconditional stay means you have no conditions except for the one, which is the physical presence in Hong Kong in any 12-month given period, on one occasion in any 12-month given period. So,
sorry,
yeah?
I must have missed something. You said the tests for unconditional stay are exactly the same as for right of abode.
Yes.
So why would you not qualify for one and not for the other? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out.
It's about whether or not you've got the circumstances in play to put your hand on your heart and declare that you've taken Hong Kong as your only place of permanent residence. So it may be, for example, that you're a lawyer and you've been here for 7 years, continuously non-early resident. You want to do something about changing your status, get an improved immigration status. Logically, you would make an application for the right of abode. But at the point of making your application, you have to declare, well, Hong Kong's my only place of permanent residence. But 6 months ago, he may have bought a home back in his home country, and in another 12 months, he may be planning to move there permanently. So he won't make the declaration. So you'd make an application for unconditional stay. Yeah? I mean, the vast majority of people would just make the declaration, right? But some people don't.
Anyway.
I've seen it. I've seen it. A lawyer, exactly the same situation. She said, no, my intention is somewhat different. I'm not prepared to do this, which is respected, right? Yeah.